My bachelor's is in communication, and I did it in a private university in Mexico. And my first internship was at that university in the film studio. So I was helping to produce a lot of short films. So as soon as I graduate, I start working for that same university, but in the marketing and communication department. And I start from as a graphic designer, and then I move on as a coordinator of the promotional campaigns, and eventually I get the promotion of director of communication. So I also achieved the position of the national director of communication. And again, that first internship I remember very well. It was in 1990, and since then I have been involved in marketing, sales, and communication. And because it was a university where I was working for, one of the main benefits was that you can pursue education and they cover it. And when I did the MBA, my favorite class was marketing. And my instructor from the marketing class that became my mentor, he suggested me, why don't you do a master's in marketing? He was going to open the program. So I did that, and I love it. I love everything about marketing. I found the perfect combination between my bachelor's in communication and marketing. And I never thought to study a PhD, but it was because the influence of good mentors. I pursue it, and I love it. Marketing is very creative. So what can I assure you is that the person who works in marketing is never going to get bored or tired, because every day is going to be different. You define a plan for the entire year, and then you're executing that plan every month, every week. But many things can change on the plan, so you can always need to be adapting. So for example, a typical day, probably the first part of the day is going to be a meeting with the team to review how the marketing plan is going. Then probably meet with the communications team, and can be a graphic designer team, and see how the materials are going for the campaign. And then also see how, or meet with the digital marketing team. Now that we have the materials in place, how those are put it on social media, and which ones are the ones who are having more traffic. So at the end of the day, probably another meeting just to see the results of the actions of that particular day. It involves a lot of teamwork, a lot of planning, a lot of creativity and communication, and also analysis of data and results of the communication. We continually do research. The typical day on a sales representative or sales executive that works for a business to business is going to be a different story. But also is going to arrive to the company, do some administrative work for just 1 hour, then it's going to open the list of prospects that is going to contact or visit during that day. Also, it's going to contact actual clients to see how's everything going, to nurture the relationship. Clients that they already purchased the product, but is going to follow up to see how's everything going. They're going to have a specific goals to achieve in terms of sales, and those goals can be in a weekly, a monthly, and of course in a yearly basis. The hardest part of the job for a marketing coordinator probably is going to be the part of the creativity, coming with something new that the competitor is not doing. In sales, the most difficult part, identify the right prospects that you can transform those prospects into customers. For example, the skills that we learn in the IB program that we can transfer to a marketing position or sales position are the following. Let's start with the marketing, the teamwork. You're never going to do marketing by yourself. You're always going to work with different group of people inside and outside of the company. That happen all the time. The second one, as we mentioned a moment ago, creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation needs to be there all the time. So that's why it's a job that you're never going to get bored, because the use of technology in marketing, data. For example, data-driven decision making is very important in marketing. We take now much better decisions today in marketing because the data that we have, the amount of data. In the past, it was very difficult to collect data. Now the big challenge is we have a lot of data. Which one is the one that we're going to use that is going to really help us to take better decisions? Another a skill that we can transfer easily from the IB program is project management. In marketing, we do projects all the time. That's what we do. A marketing plan is a project. A digital marketing campaign is a project. So if we have that ability to know how to manage projects, then yes, that's going to be very beneficial. Another important class on the program, business climate, that is going to help us to analyze the environment of what are our competitors, what are some of the trends that are happening that we can take advantage. And based on that, we can write the marketing plan. And lastly is finance. And we have the class of small business finance, how to do sales projections, how to calculate market share, how to make your projections by customers. So for sales, everything is going to apply, but let me go very quick because I think IB student who really wants to work in sales is a great candidate for companies, especially the companies in B2B are in a real need of hiring good sales professionals. In sales, you need to be very organized. Project management can help you to do that. HR class in IB is very important in sales because you're gonna need, at a certain point, if you become successful, you're gonna become a sales manager. And as a manager, you need to hire, recruit, develop, train, and sometimes fire someone from your sales team. Also, we do a lot of teamwork. It's impossible to make the sales by itself. The entire company needs to work as a team. A couple of advices for those students who want to pursue a marketing career or a sales career. For both, the first advice is take action. Become a member of the American Marketing Association, the student chapter at UCF. Again, both marketing or sales, you need to be part of that student organization. For those students who are interested in sales, and if your schedule permits, be part of the professional selling program from the marketing department at UCF. It's open to all students at UCF, not only business. You're going to receive top training, and the top companies recruiting for sales professionals come and recruit from the PSP program. Here in the IB program, the best way to learn digital marketing is through the IB Digital Squad. And what they do is they're going to improve the image of the IB program by creating valuable content to share online. But the great thing about that is the working experience that they are getting of learning by doing. Do internships in marketing and sales. And for that, UCF provides you with very good resources. Starting in-house inside of the College of Business with the Office of Professional Development, you can know what are the opportunities for marketing and sales, what are the internships. But not only Office of Professional Development, we also have career services. And remember, we have Nightline, Handshake, internship jobs, and LinkedIn also. And lastly, let me conclude with have a good LinkedIn profile. That is your personal branding. The most important brand is you.